This NASCAR One and Done Picks Part 2 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with their promo code RACESGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. And yes, for those of you who watched the last episode, we are still in our festive gear. And for those of you listening on the traditional podcast airwaves, go watch the YouTube. This is a couple episodes that you want to watch on the YouTube because we're having some fun, decked out in our holiday gear. And yeah, Cody's looking dapper. He's got the beard though. You've got
I don't know. Trying to decide how my hat looks. It looks funny. The headphones do not make it easy to place the hat. I will say that, Rob. I've been struggling.
You are correct. But you have the full on Santa going. I just look like this elf that
even got
dropped off the shelf.
Chunks of gray in here. We're getting there. I'm working on my my full Santa era coming soon.
Absolutely love it. All right. So today we are continuing our discussion on our NASCAR One and Done picks. For those of you who didn't listen to the first episode, go back, do that. Or you can listen to this one and then go back and listen to that one. I didn't care the order. It's fun.
Maybe it'd be more fun to listen to the second half first. I don't know, Rod. It's potentially you get all of our secondhand picks and then you're like, wait a minute, you go back and listen to the first one. Might be fun.
I mean, it's up to you. If you choose your own adventure at this one, it's good. But yes, NASCAR One and Done. If you, again, haven't listened to the first one, it is a contest that runs every year in which all 36 races play out. All 36 chartered drivers are pretty much available to pick, and you pick which one you think is going to perform the best. It doesn't have to win the race, just perform the best for you fantasy-wise, and you continue to move on. Again, this isn't a Survivor, so if you pick wrong, if you don't pick the person that wins the race, you're not out. You're just behind, and you have to catch up in some other areas. We made our picks for the first 18 races in episode 1, some names that you expect to hear, a couple that you didn't, and yeah, we'll continue on down that road in this episode.
Yeah, you set it up perfectly. NASCAR.com for their official 36 race thing. They do score that with the points earned. So stage points will count. That definitely factors into it. And yeah, otherwise you nailed it, Rob.
Indeed. JDK checking in. We see you, Marcus. We know exactly what you've got going on with Christopher Bell. We love you. But JDK saying, evening, fellas. Haven't been able to watch the YouTube shows this week, so I thought we'd pop in for this one. It's a good one to pop in, JDK. We're glad to have you.
It's nice to see you. Even if you didn't catch part 1, you get the you get the gist, right? So go back and listen. I will recap quickly, Rod. We did make our first 16. No, just kidding. We made our first 18 picks. We've struggled with the number 16 and 18 today for some reason. But
Although, can
yeah,
you recap in just a second? Because I want to remind everybody that it's
that's a good
easy,
idea.
just
Yeah,
like
you should.
yeah,
You should.
I will. I'll remind everybody, just like the JDK, if you want to catch up on stuff, you can get access to all of that stuff. Free picks, podcasts, it's all in one convenient place. It's the SGPN app. If you want to download it, look for it in your app store and just type in SGPN, completely free, just like this recap of the last episode.
That's right. So here's your free recap, Rod. The Daytona 500, we went with Tyrone Dillon. Then we went to Echo Park Speedway, formerly known as Atlanta. Daniel Suarez. Coda, first road course of the season. Not SVG. We're holding him for later. Alex Bowman. Phoenix, Christopher Bell won the back-to-back races there in the springtime. Las Vegas, we took him. He's been great there. And we went with Tyler Reddick. Martinsville, Ryan Priest, short track ringer. Bristol, we talked about it. I screwed up last year. I got the calculations wrong. I thought it was going to be Ty Gibbs' first win last year at Bristol, but it's actually this year. So we went ahead and picked him for that win there. Denny Hamlin, we burned him early, but Kansas is a great place to do it. Gilly Gang Unite at Talladega. Brad Keselowski at Texas. He's been sneaky good there. Chris Buescher's been lights out at Watkins Glen. That date shifted around again from the fall back to the springtime. May, definitely an interesting time there. We'll have the All-Star break. You don't pick anybody for that one. Charlotte, though, William Byron, we went with him. He's been great in the Coca-Cola 600. Carson Hocevar picks up his first career win at Nashville. Rod, Zane Smith at Michigan. Chase Elliott, Poconos, where we decided to use him, one of the tougher drivers on the card to find the right spot to place him. SVG San Diego is the must-use place for him, in our opinion. Michael McDowell at Sonoma. Road course guy, very good at that track in particular, both with Front Row and with Spire this past year. So that's our first 18 drivers, our first 18 tracks. Time to do it all over with the second half of the schedule and the remaining 18 drivers on the card.
Indeed it is. And again, like we had talked about too, check your rules. If there are some contests that allow you to use some of these open drivers, it'd be fun to kind of plug some of them in, just like we talked about with Jimmy Johnson in the opening part of it. Might be fun to just kind of take stabs on them. Obviously, Jimmy Johnson was the cover guy for this because I have to. It's just something I have to do.
Yeah, and if you're using the NASCAR official one, which is probably how we're going to do our contest this year, you won't be able to use the open guys. But some of the other sites that we've used the last couple of years and other things out there will allow you to use the open guys. I would advise using open guys when you have the opportunity because it saves other guys for later, right? We use Ty Dillon at Daytona, but if you can save him at Daytona and use Jimmy Johnson or Justin Allgaier, then you've got a Ty Dillon to use later on, which is actually a pretty solid driver, right? And can put together good races. So a good note there.
Indeed. Okay, well then let's move on to a track that we haven't been to in quite a few years. 2019 was the last time the NASCAR Cup Series took to the Chicagoland Speedway. And into that particular race, it was Alex Bowman bringing home the win in June of 2019. Kyle Busch did it before him, and then Martin Truex Jr. back-to-back wins on that particular track. So we haven't been here in a while, Cody. We've already used Alex Bowman. Are we saving Kyle Busch for this particular track? Or do we try to go and get sneaky with it and use a guy like Kyle Larson, who's had back-to-back second-place finishes on this track?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking but so that is the question, right? Is this where you use Kyle Larson where we don't know exactly what we're coming back to? We don't know what the surface is going to look like. It should be very similar to Kansas. It should be very similar to Las Vegas. Do we want to use Kyle Larson when you don't know? Granted, Larson's always scary because he's going to have his spots where he doesn't finish, and if you burn him on a bad week, it sucks because he's going to have his dominant races. He feels like a safer pick to use here, but should we save him for elsewhere is kind of what I'm thinking when we don't exactly know what we're going to get out of this track.
Well, okay, so we set the precedent in the last episode to use guys that this is one of their better tracks on, right? And so for Kyle Larson, obviously it's not as if Chicagoland, I mean, look, he's been damn good at this, but he's good at Indy, where his average finish is 1.5, Martinsville, where he's 5.5, 6.5, Kansas. So,
and I doubt Larson's been here in Hendrick. I don't remember, what was the last year he said we raced here?
2019, so he was a Ganassi.
Yeah, so he was a Ganassi. So we had not even seen him here at Hendrick. I think we save him for a track we're more secure in knowing exactly what he's going to do. I was looking at average finishes just on intermediate tracks. So going down the list of guys we haven't used yet, Joey Logano does pop up. New track, Rod, quote unquote, new track. We could potentially think about him. But
he's the seventh best finisher here, by the way. 11.5 is his average finish. So he's behind Kyle, Blaney, Jimmy, Chase, Kozlowski, and Larson. So
he certainly could be one. There's a lot of places we could use him. Again, you're kind of calling your shots. I don't hate using Logano here. Bubba Wallace, he's been good at intermediates. He's a name we haven't used yet that maybe we saved him for a track like this. Probably not a place I want to burn a Chase Briscoe. I'd rather have him at one of the tracks we know he's going to be good at. I don't really want to burn a Ryan Blaney here. I feel like, to me, so AJ Allmendinger actually 16.7. The only concern there is we're getting later in the season. That Chevy-Dodge relationship thing, that kind of scares me at a track like this. So I feel like it should be Joey Logano or Bubba Wallace.
I'll go with Bubba. He does have 2 starts here, average finish of 24, but again, that wasn't in the Trackhouse equipment. That was in Richard Petty, the 43, and obviously we know the backwards of that one. So, okay, I'm okay using Bubba because I feel like Joey's probably best served somewhere else. So
yeah,
I
agree. So yep, let's take Bubba Wallace here. If you've not used an Alex Bowman, he was really good here previously. It's a track you'd expect him to be good at. We used him already in the first episode of Coda. So if you hadn't used him, he would be a guy to consider here. But yeah, give us Bubba Wallace, and we will move on to our first repeat track of the season, Rod. Going back to the Echo Park Automotive Speedway, formerly known as Atlanta Motor Speedway, for another quote-unquote super speedway race. So, yeah, who we using in this one?
Remind me again who we used for the first one.
The first Atlanta race, we went with Mr. Suarez. Daniel Suarez was our guy there. So, yeah, what are you thinking here?
God bless it. Because
is this the AJ Allmendinger week?
Yeah, let's do that because we've been saving him for a super speedway.
Yeah,
and we've been
trying. I'm getting more and more concerned the farther away from the start of the season we get that Chevy relationship gets more frayed. They start getting less information. We have a confirmation that Dodge is coming back with them at this point in time. I don't want to. We already talked about not using him at a road course. We've already filled out all the road course guys, so we don't have to worry about that anyways. He's been good here, 11.3 average finish. We talked about how good he was at Daytona, right? The super speedway style of racing really fits him. He's smart at it. 12th, 14th, 13th, 16th. A couple of stage finishes in there to get some points. So give us AJ Allmendinger at Atlanta.
I'll take it. Yeah. Again, this is a guy where we know he's probably not going to win this race. All we're asking for is some good fantasy points out of him. And look, 21st to 12th in the June of 2025, 12th to 14th, 19th to 3rd in 2023, where we had that full season off. So, yeah, we'll take AJ in this instance. It's a super speedway. Hold your breath on that one.
I already know who I want to use for the next one, I think, Rod.
So the next one is North Wilkesboro. Who do you want to use for North Wilkesboro?
Is this the Joey Logano spot?
Is this the Joey Logano spot?
I think this is the Joey Logano spot.
Okay. If you think this is the Joey Logano spot, then please tell me why you think this is the Joey Logano spot.
Because it's those. So this is our first points race at North Wilkesboro, right? So we don't have that previous. We've raced the All-Star race here a couple of years, but you could count this as a new event on the schedule. So that gives Joey a bump. I don't even have actually All-Star race stats pulled up in front of me, but I feel like Joey Logano was pretty good here. So I'm going to roll with that. I believe, did he win the first All-Star race or dominated the first All-Star race here? I know Kyle Larson's been really good here, but again, I think we can save him. This just feels like this is a gut handicapping pick for me, Rod.
And that's fine. In 2024, he led 199 of 200 laps, which was a record to win the event and have that significant payday. So, yeah, I mean, he's had a strong showing, 10th place finish in 2023 after a penalty there. So,
and it's hard. Like first year was before the repave, right? So it's a different track since then. But it was all-star format. You're running short distances. You're running funny rules, tires, whatever. We don't know. Like, this will be a full race. You don't know what you're going into, which automatically gives Joey Logano a bump because he's good at adjusting on the fly. It's a shorter, flatter track where Penske's typically been better. So, yeah.
Did I really? TK said that I said that Bubba's driving for Trackhouse again. I don't remember saying
it goes right
Trackhouse.
over me, Rod, because you said it so many times I don't even pay attention.
I think I'm wheeling him into a Trackhouse ride or whatever. That's kind of where we're at this point. But okay, so yes, I do believe, and like you said, I mean, this is the new event on the thing, so I like that as well.
Which really, we've got 3 this year. You know, North Wilkesboro obviously has been on the schedule previously, and we've been running here the last couple of years, but all-star format. So first time coming here. Chicagoland coming back for the first time since 2019. And then, you know, you've got San Diego, but how do you not use SVG at that one?
Oh, we already said that was going to happen, so we're locked in on that. Okay, we got more races to go, more drivers to burn through, so let's do that. But first, let me tell you about our friends over at Call Sheet. We just partnered up with Call Sheet, real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. And in all 50 states, you can trade tons of markets, including in sports, including NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. Plus, you can even trade props like first TDs. And besides sports, they've got a ton of other markets, including politics, entertainment. Hell, you can even trade on the weather. Call Sheet, you can trade on anything. What about the top USA song on Spotify today? The choices are, and this is what I find crazy, it's either Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, which has got 97% of the trading going on with it right now. So a yes for Rocking Around the Christmas Tree is trading at 98 cents. The no is 3 cents. And then All I Want for Christmas Is You trading at 10%. Which is 7 cents for a yes, 99% for a no. Last Christmas is on there as well. Not really even tracking on a no, just a yes at 3 cents. Whew, there's so many fun markets on Call Sheet. If you're not on there right now having fun with it, there's something wrong with you. No, there's not. It's just fun. Just get on there and do it. New Call Sheet customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That's Call Sheet, KALSHI, promo code SGPN. Tell you formally about our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries, where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Underdog's got you covered this holiday season with Underdog Unwrapped. You're going to unwrap a ton of promos throughout the holidays. Sunday football or Saturday. So how about Christmas Day football, right? There's 3 games on the slate. It is the Cowboys. It is the Commanders. I am liking Chris Rodriguez. I'm liking the rushing total for him. His rushing projection is set at 49.5 rushing yards. This dude's a bulldozer. I'm going to go ahead and take the higher than 49.5 rushing yards for Chris Rodriguez. Over the last few games, 63 last week, 52 the week before, 41 the week before that, 79 against the Dolphins. They're going to try to pummel the Cowboys in the running game, and I think Chris Rodriguez has a shot at getting higher than 49.5 rushing yards. Underdog got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 to get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with the promo code RACE, SGPN. Be a fun one to watch. I'm keeping my eyes open on that. I'm so mad that Deebo Samuel's not getting used the way I expect him to because, pisses me off. I needed him for the playoffs.
Yeah, certainly could have used some better playoff performances from him among a lot of drivers, Rob.
Indeed. Okay, so let's move on to the next race on the schedule. It is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is the Brickyard 400. We know that it was Bubba Wallace that came home with that impressive win at Indianapolis last season. We've already used Bubba Wallace in his Trackhouse equipment.
I think it's only appropriate to use the IndyCar driver in the field route. I think this is where we pull the trigger on Mr. Larson. You
think so?
1.5 average finish. He's been good here in both races. Obviously, we only have the 2 to look at since they returned here. Another track that the series has come back to. It's been beautiful the last few years here with all of that. But, yeah, I think this is a good spot for him. I think a lot of people are going to have burned him by now, right? So I think we're going to kind of be on an island here at a track that he's very good at, 1.5 average finish. I mean, it literally doesn't get much better unless it's at 1.0. So I think this is the proper spot to use IndyCar driver Kyle Larson in this situation.
And not trying to run the Indianapolis 500 this season, so
Yes.
he's
focused
freed up
on NASCAR, which could be great for Admiral Shook.
Yes. Okay, I'm good with that. We'll go ahead and use the Admiral in this instance. All right, Iowa, buddy, your neck of the woods, sort of, kind of.
Whoa! Don't
you go to Iowa
compare
Speedway,
Nebraska to Iowa. Okay, we're nothing alike. We have much better corn than they do.
but you're close. So Iowa Speedway, it's still your neck of the woods, Cody. It doesn't have to be your hometown.
I mean, there's a line that separates our woods from their woods. Our trees clearly better than theirs, but fine.
That's like me trying to say anything nice about the Dodgers. You can't get me to do it. All right, Iowa. Look at some average finishes here. William Byron, 1.5. Ryan Blaney, 2.5. Kozlowski, 6.5. Logano, 7.5. But we've already used everybody. How about, did we use Josh Berry?
So this is the interesting one. This is potentially the spot for Josh Berry. Ryan Blaney definitely pops up on the radar like, ooh, this would be a good spot for him. But I'd really think I'd like to save Blaney for fall Phoenix or Martinsville if we can make it that far. Josh Berry, though, 13th this past year, 7th place here in 2024. Short guy. He's short. He's short.
He is short. I've been next to him.
Short guy, also good at short tracks, right? So yeah, I think this is actually a really good spot for Josh Berry because looking down through the schedule, you got Richmond coming up, which, spoiler, we're going to use Austin Dillon for. New Hampshire, definitely a spot you could use him. Bristol, I mean, you can make an argument for like a Kansas because he won at Vegas. Vegas is on there, but I think that's where people are going to get cute and use him at Vegas Spring because he won there last year. And I think we were all bamboozled by that, and we shouldn't be again. But I think Iowa's a good spot for Josh Berry. So yeah, I think he's the play.
To TK's point, it is one of his best tracks. In fact, it goes New Hampshire,
or
Richmond,
to JDK's point too. Either way.
Did I say? What did I say?
TK?
See, TK, now you got me.
What team does TK drive for, Rod?
He drives for the JDK is what he drives for. This is the conundrum we're in. Can you tell that it's Christmas Day? For those of you listening on Christmas Day. But yeah, so it goes New Hampshire, Richmond, and Iowa for Josh Berry as far as his best average finishes go. So I think this is a good spot for him.
Can we make the next one quick, Rod? Richmond, Virginia, the Richmond Raceway. Austin Dillon, back-to-back wins. How do you not save Austin Dillon and use him here? I mean, there's really nowhere else on the schedule that he's popping off like, oh, you want to use him here. He's been great at this track. I think you have to use Austin Dillon at Richmond.
Yeah, I was like, tell me where else you're going to use him. There's no other strong case you can make for Austin Dillon.
It's just, and like, is he going to win 3 in a row? Obviously, even the odds to him to win 2 in a row is crazy, but he should show up and have a good race at a track he's good at. There's nowhere else that you would love to use him, I don't think. He's always like a sneaky one for the Coke 600 or something like that. He has one at Texas before if you wanted to use him at a track like that, but 2 wins in a row, I mean, for a guy like Dillon that doesn't win a ton, I think you have to save him for that race.
Indeed. All right, well, then let's move on to New Hampshire, short flat. Obviously, we talked about Josh Berry having his best track here at New Hampshire, but still not one that we want to go with because we picked him earlier. Kevin Harvick next on the list, Truex next on the list, Larson, Bell, Elliott, Briscoe, Busch, Hamlin, and Chastain run out the top 10, but problem is we've used most of these guys already, so how deep do we have to go?
Quite the conundrum, Rod. We have used quite a few of these guys. Last year, made very certain to save this track for Christopher Bell, because he has been lights out here. But we used him earlier on, and I do think that spring race at Phoenix is a great spot for him, obviously winning that the last couple of years. So I don't mind having burned that and not having that in our pocket. Josh Berry, definitely, if you don't use him at Iowa, this is a great spot to look at him with that 2.5 average finish over 2 starts here. So that's obviously been very good. Chase Briscoe, he's been a short flat guy forever. We've not used him yet. You got the Southern 500.
Another race.
I mean, Southern 500 he's won 2 years in a row. So, again, low-hanging fruit, but you hope by then a lot of people have used him anyways. there's plenty of tracks you could use him at. I'd like to maybe hold on to him if possible. Tyler Reddick is a guy we haven't used, but I don't know that this is the track I want to use him at. So yeah, now you really are starting to get down into the weeds as far as looking at guys with average finishes. Is this the type of race we just completely punt on? Do you look at like an Eric Jones at 17.8 average finish? Is that the type where you're like, okay, we just go get the best finish we can? So 28th last year, but 13th and 11th the 2 previous years. Upside of a 3rd place back in the day, but that was with Joe Gibbs.
Is there a spot where you prefer John Hunter Nemechek more? He's got an 8th place finish here in 2024. He had a 34th in 2025, but we both know that Legacy is a little more capable than they were back then too.
Yeah, I caught up in a wreck last year, so fine. The 8th place, though, very promising. 36 in his first start back in 2020, front row, old car. So really, you throw out those 2 bad finishes, and you got an 8th place finish. He's always a guy you're going to look at a Daytona type of track, but probably a guy we want to use at a better track. This might be a really good spot for John Hunter. And with struggling as we are to find somebody, an 8th place upside, I kind of like playing John Hunter here.
Well, then let's play John Hunter at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway as we take him off of the board. Whew, that was difficult. That was probably the toughest decision we've had up to now.
What about before I already wrote it down, but I can write over it. Mm-hmm. Is this where we use Kyle Busch? We haven't.
See, and I thought we used him already, but it's funny because I guess we haven't used Kyle Busch.
We haven't, because he's a tough one because he's not necessarily been great. He's been good at this track in the past, but that, of course, was with JGR, who typically is good at short flats, right?
His finishes since 10th, 16th, 17th, 18th in the last several years.
Okay,
that's Kurt Busch. I'm sorry, that's Kurt.
Oh, geez.
I was clicking the wrong brother.
Well, and Kurt's average finish a lot better than Kyle's, I think. So
yeah, much better.
30th, 35th, 36th at Richard Childress. Okay, next. Thank you. 3 horrible races at Childress there. So, yeah, no, John Hunter. Let's keep him on the list and move on to the next one.
Beautiful. Okay, so then the next one is the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona, the fall race here at the Daytona International Speedway. You got a guy in mind that you're just raring to go with?
I don't know about raring to go with, but Cody Ware, definitely a guy we talked about in the Daytona 500. He's been good at this track. A guy that you're not really going to want to use elsewhere. So looking at guys you have left on the sheet, guys we want to kind of use at these types of track are going to be him, Cole Custer, Ricky Stenhouse is always. So Stenhouse is always interesting because he's capable of winning, but inconsistent at super speedways, but also the type of guy that could get you a decent finish somewhere else. Whereas Cody Ware, trying to find a decent finish from him somewhere, not going to happen a ton. 20th here in the fall, 25th. Before that, 4th, 14th. Those are good runs. 6th place, 17th place. That's all next-gen finishes. Some pretty decent runs. Good enough, has some potential upside. Plus, we've seen that Arby's car out front, mixing it up front, right? Maybe he wins a stage on accident, gets you some extra points. Like, again, a guy, it's going to be tough to find anywhere else to use him. And we have to use all 36 in the way we're picking this, right? So it's either here or it's Talladega later on, and I think we just use them here.
We talked about it and we served it up that we either use them at the 500 or we use them later, and I think this is it. We use them later. So I can't, like you said, I can't think of another place to use him that I'm comfortable. So Cody Ware, congratulations, you're our pick for the fall Daytona Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Great name, and congrats. You've been selected in this 36 round draft, Mr. Ware, with the 26th pick and the regular season finale race, by the way.
Oh yeah, because then we start the playoffs.
Well, apologies.
Well, oh yeah,
we don't know that for sure.
True.
We know none of this for sure. It's 54 days till Daytona, and we still don't know.
Yeah. So this could potentially be where we start whatever post.
You could be listening to this in February and be like, playoffs? There is no playoffs. What an idiot.
Stupid. You guys, dummies, dummies, don't even know that there's no NASCAR playoffs. Saturday Night Live. If you haven't watched it with Bad Bunny, go watch that. All right. Worldwide Technology Raceway, the Enjoy Illinois 300.
Well, Rod, we should probably not skip the Southern 500.
Oh, we shouldn't skip the Southern 500. You're right. Darlington Speedway. You've got somebody in mind already.
Yeah, I mean, this just feels like a really good Chase Briscoe spot. He's won this race the last 2 years in a row. The reliability of being able to get that 500 miles at a track this tough. Eric Jones, always another guy that I bring up in this type of race. Less consistent over the last few years, which is, definitely scares you a little bit. Briscoe did it in the 14 car with Stuart Haas. Then he did it in the 19 car with Gibbs. So that's obviously been impressive. You look at his runs, the win here, he led 309 laps. He won both stages. That's obviously a max points day for you there. 28th here in the spring, but that was while he was getting his feet wet at Joe Gibbs. Not running well. Fine, you throw that out. First here in the Southern 500 and 24. Fifth in the spring of 24. So he's been really good in the last, 3 of the last 4 races, and really throwing out that getting to know Joe Gibbs period. He's been great. He's obviously, by this time in the season, we feel like he should be ramped up, running hot. If it is a playoff, he hit the ground fucking running in the playoffs this past year. This is a perfect spot for him. So I'd love to use Chase Briscoe here if you'll allow it, Rod.
I will allow it. In fact, I will encourage it. So, Cody, mark down Chase Briscoe, and then we move on to the Worldwide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois for the Enjoy
I got
Illinois.
one for this, too.
I actually have one for this as well.
Maybe it's the same guy. Who knows?
Wait, okay, ready? Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Austin
Cindric. Yes, let's fucking go. Put him down, baby. We're in sync on this one. He's been great at this track, Rod. He really has. I mean, you think of Austin Dillon at Richmond, you think of Austin Cindric at Gateway. It's weird, it's funny, it's strange, but that's just how it is. So yeah, I think he's the clear winner. Obviously, we're both on the same page with him there. But yeah, he's been great. 11.0 average finish, and that's across 4 races. So that's pretty solid. 19th here last year, a little bit disappointing, but won here in 24. Should have won here in 23. Ended up running out of gas and finishing 13th near the end of that. And 11th place here in his first start back in 22. So he's been really solid. Last year was a bit disappointing, but it's been his, I would say, probably best track, or certainly one of his best tracks. And he's the guy that pops to mind when you think of a place like this. I think he's a good play there.
Statistically, his best track as far as average finish is concerned. So you are correct, Cody. It is. But you got to love it. We both had the same guy in mind for that one as well. All right, let's move on to the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Bass Pro Shops night race. Obviously, the dirt track has been gone for a little while now, and we're back to good old-fashioned short track racing at Bristol. And the night race always adds another level of fun to it. However, we have used guys like Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson. Is this for Denny Hamlin, or are we saving him for later? We're saving him for later, right?
We used him back at Kansas.
Did we really?
I talked you into it.
Well, then we did use Denny. Oh, you did. That's why I don't remember. All right. Well, then we're really.
Now. We are getting into the weeds. We're digging deep, because if you look, average finish sorted, over a driver averages, we like to use that a lot for the next gen era. You have to go all the way down to and this has some guys that aren't racing, obviously. Martin Truex, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch's of the world are all in here, but you got to go to the 27th spot with Kyle Busch. Okay, so Kyle Busch notoriously has been great at this track. 16th, 14th, 25th, 20th. It's not been good in the next gen era, certainly. Pre-next gen, second, fourth, first, 20th, first, like really good. So we have Kyle Busch left. Bristol, Kansas, Vegas. He's been good at the 1.5 miles too, though. He's had a lot of speed at those tracks. Potentially you use him at one of those. I do feel like a guy like Ricky Stenhouse feels like he's somewhat decent here. What about Cole Custer? We got to use Custer somewhere.
Cole Custer,
He has an
23.3
eighth
average
place finish here in the fall of 22. That was Stuart Haas, of course, which he's still technically a Haas. 33rd and 29th last year, not overly impressive. But, I mean, we're getting to the point where we're kind of just filling in with guys that are left, right?
How about Noah Gragson? Oh, did we?
No, we haven't used Gregson. Him or Herbst are interesting in this position. I mean, Gregson 23, 23, 12 in his last 3.
I like that.
Those are decent. And the 23rds, I mean, like he had a bad season last year. So if he can rebound from that in his second year at front row, maybe Noah's the guy to use in this one. We have used John Hunter.
We did use John Hunter. Yes,
we used him. Where did we use him? We used him at New Hampshire. That was, kind of another one that was like, we were struggling to find who we were going to use, and he's a guy we used there. So Noah Gragson, I think, is you hope that we're over the 2025 Blues by this point in the season. Maybe we can get a solid run out of Mr. Gragson. So let's play him at the Bristol Motor Speedway fall race.
Indeed. Okay, so then let's move over to the fall race at Kansas, the Hollywood Casino 400. We've already burned through one Kansas driver, and now we're going to have to dig again to find ourselves another Kansas driver. Cody,
so
it's tough.
We have back-to-back races here at Kansas and Las Vegas. I think we can sort of look at these in a vacuum together. They're very similar tracks. I do think that Kyle Busch might be a great play at Las Vegas, his home track. He's been pretty solid there. He's had a lot of speed on these mile and a halves. Don't forget, Kansas just 2 years ago was leading, gets the air taken off of him by Briscoe, spins out. Like he's had some bad stuff happen, which we're hopefully going to be past some of that this year. Ideally, we will see, right? But he could certainly be a guy. I mean, we've only got a handful of races left, only a handful of drivers. So Riley Herbst could be interesting. Kyle Busch, obviously, Ricky Stenhouse. I'd like to save Blaney, I think, for Martinsville if we can. We've got Zilisch, who I think we want to save for the ROVAL. Eric Jones is a guy we haven't used. What's he done?
I'd be okay with Eric Jones. He's 35th overall in driver averages, but he does have a couple of solid finishes in his career here. 16th last year in the fall, 32nd, 35th, 3rd. He's got a 3rd place finish in that Legacy Motor Club in 2023. He did really well with Gibbs, 5th, 7th, 3rd, 4th, 7th. So, I mean, if there's a place where we can use him, I think this may be it.
Yeah, definitely could be. Custer's all 20th place finishes, basically. He's one of the guys we have left. Has Stenhouse done anything of note at Kansas? We've already used
not
Zane
really.
Smith,
No, 29th overall.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, but okay. No, that's Zane. Oh, you got me thrown off, JDK. He had me thinking of Zane Smith, who was running great at Kansas last year before he ended up sideways and upside down in that crazy wreck. But we've already used him. He's off the board. So Eric Jones. Yeah, I don't know. Talladega is always somewhere you could use him, but you probably rather burn a Custer or Stenhouse, honestly, probably at this point. So, let's roll with Eric Jones here at Kansas, and we'll do that, Rob.
All right. Then on that note, we will step away for a second and come back to some more heated, or not even heated, just tough decisions as the drivers start to thin out.
It gets a lot more difficult when you get to the end and there's nobody left.
Really, it's true, though. All right, let's come back for more, but let me tell you first about our friends over at Novig. We're brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. With Novig, you are getting the best prices. Do not believe me? Well, let's take a look at the football games that are happening on Christmas Day. All right, how about the Lions and the Vikings? If you are big believers that the Lions will have their revenge on the officials, on everybody that pissed them off this last week, and take it out on the Vikings, the hapless Vikings, you're getting the Lions 7.5 at +105. The Vikings are +7.5, by the way, at -108 if you really think they can keep it close, but I don't know if I believe that. So the Lions -7.5 at +105 on Novig. That is some pretty less juicy than you're going to get on most books. Download the NoVig app. Get $50 when you spend $5 if you use promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with NoVig promo code SGPN. Rhythm has been absolutely crushing it this NFL season, especially on props. They've been really good at identifying when to fade players and take those unders. College basketball up and running with 300 plus schools. Rhythm has predictions for every game, every night. And like a fine wine, pairs nicely with the daily TCE shows with Matt, Colby, and Noah. Every game, you are prepared. Super easy to sign up, run predictions off the house model, or you can make your own and play with the sliders. With so many sports and the holiday makes it easy to get in a game so I can focus on all kinds of other sports. Remember, I gave you that Chris Rodriguez rushing projection on Underdog? Well, guess what? Rhythm backs me up on this one. Rhythm is giving Chris Rodriguez over 49.5 rushing yards against the Cowboys, minus 111 over there. You can find it. Again, he's been on this 4 out of the last 6 games as Chris Rodriguez. So a good guy. I know Merritt Jakowski, the other guy, is not getting as many carries. Bill, yes, Bill is not being as effective as Chris Rodriguez. So Chris Rodriguez, guy I'm on this weekend. Use promo code SGPN when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. There's a reason they call him Bill.
It's a little easier. All right, Rod, speaking of easy, 6 races left, 6 drivers left. I've condensed the list, so I'm not looking through all these guys. I think I've figured it out quickly, which 6 we will use. But the remaining drivers we have are Cole Custer, Kyle Busch, Connor Zilisch, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Ricky Stenhouse. So we have saved a couple of big hitters for the stretch run here, and at good tracks. But we head to Las Vegas next for the 31st race of the season, and we've him-hawed back and forth. Do you use Kyle Busch here? Do you use Kyle Busch there? Where do you use Kyle Busch? Here a Kyle Busch, there a Kyle Busch, everywhere a Kyle Busch. Las Vegas, at home. That's where you find Kyle Busch this year, Rod. And he's actually been really good at this track in particular, and solid enough through the next gen era. 8th place here in the fall race this past year, so you like that. That's a good run, right? 33rd in the spring, did lead a couple of laps, so whatever. 13th place here before that, a 26th. So I will note, better in the fall than he has been in the spring, so that's very notable because the fall races, 8th, 13th, and 3rd with RCR, and in the next gen, it's been 8th, 13th, 3rd, and 3rd, going back to his time with Joe Gibbs in that first start here in the next gen in the fall. So he's been good here in the fall. I think he's the guy of these that we have left that we use at Las Vegas.
And somebody could want to use him in the spring thinking, okay, great, it's Las Vegas, it's Kyle Busch, and then he comes out, craps bed.
They should have saved him for the fall, Rod. Should have saved him for the fall. Kyle fucking Busch, the F is back this year. We're all in. Let's go. And let's head back to the Charlotte Roval, the only place that they ever used a strike in the old deal to try not to go. The Charlotte Roval, the teams hate it. We hate it. Everybody hates it. Hopefully Connor Zilisch likes it, Rob.
I hope so, because he's the guy that's going to be used on this one.
Yeah, we've been saving him. So, just to kind of recap on the road course stuff, we pulled the trigger on Alex Bowman early in the season at COTA. He's been very good at that track, treated us well there previous years using him. Watkins Glen, Chris Buescher has been lights out. We felt like we had to use him there. SVG, you want to use at San Diego because it is a quote-unquote street course. Because it's new, he's going to have even more of an advantage there. McDowell's been great at Sonoma. He's a guy you want to use on a road course. So that left us Connor Zilisch, who, of course, we want to use on a road course because of the tracks. We think that's where he's going to be the best. I don't think he's going to win a race this year. But I'd love to talk about his win total, Rod. So if they could get that up, would be great. But that leaves the Charlotte Roval. This also gives him 31 races into his rookie season to get his feet under him, to get a little bit better. Just go out and have a solid race, score some points. We don't need you to win to wrap up the season here, but just hopefully have a good day. He's learned some stuff through the first 4 races, got some of the kinks worked out. I think this is the best spot to use Mr. Zilisch and his the lone rookie of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season. So congratulations to Connor Zilisch, your 2026 Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series, Rob.
That's the hardest competition. Boy, if he loses that this year, You know how pissed he's going to be? I'm the only one and I didn't win the award.
So you get a late entry and they steal it from him. That'd be crazy.
Man, that'd be horrible. All right. Yeah, I think you're right. This is the absolute only place that you should feel comfortable using him. And then that moves on to Phoenix in the I think that's where we're using Ryan Blaney, yeah?
I think we want to save Ryan Blaney for Martinsville, Rob.
Oh, was it Martinsville?
So
all right.
that's which we'll talk about when we get there. I think this is where we just burn one, essentially. Cole Custer is kind of the odd man left that we don't really have a good spot to use. I don't know that there is a great spot to use Custer. Do you have, what's Cole Custer's best track? We're not bringing Kentucky back, so that doesn't count.
I'll pull that up for you right now.
So he's got a 22.3 average finish in the next gen era, which is not horrible. It's obviously not great. But he's been actually decent. So 25th and 32nd last year, you'd like better, but you got better before that. 16th in 22 in both races and 13th in the fall 21 race. Back in the old days of Stuart Haas in 2020, he did have a 9th place finish here. So he's at least had some good runs previously here. I mean, it's not, lighting the world on fire, but where's this rank for Cole Custer tracks?
Well, for Cole Custer tracks, Mexico City's the first, and then it goes Daytona, Talladega, Indy, Charlotte, Martinsville, Pocono, Darlington, Sonoma, Dover, Phoenix, 11th best track overall.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Maybe we should have used them at one of the super speedways. Again, it gets to be pulling strings, like which back marker, I guess it will be the polite way to say that, do you want to use on those tracks? So he's kind of the odd man out that we still have. I think this is where so I guess the conversation is Talladega is the next track, right? So Talladega, you listed as one of his better tracks there. Would you rather use him or Ricky Stenhouse, who has the upside of winning a race because we've seen him do it before?
I mean, look, we're splitting hairs between because I say Talladega, one of his best average finishing, but let's not bury the lead in that. Mexico City, obviously, you could throw that out. His 8th place finish was kind of chart topping, but Daytona 15.3, Talladega 17.0. And then you look down what we're just talking about with Phoenix 22.3. We're only talking 5 spots as far as how big of a swing this is. And I'm not necessarily.
It's not like he has any great tracks. I mean, and if you look at Stenhouse here, 17th, 21st, 33rd, 21st, 23rd, 19th. So it is similar finishes. So I guess the main question would be, which one would we rather take the shot with at Talladega? So I think the statistics will likely back me up if the page will ever open, that Ricky Stenhouse has the ability to win on super speedways, but he's not necessarily always consistent. I think that's always kind of been the thing we've seen with him over the years. Cole Custer with a 17.0 average finish and Stenhouse with 18. So it truly is splitting hairs which guy you'd want to pick for which race. I mean, Custer finished 5th and 13th last year at Talladega. That's fairly sexy. 13th and 10th in 21. Pre-next gen era. Stenhouse, he's got finishes of, he won here in the fall of 24. He finished first and 4th here in 24, 12th and 25. I think we keep it how it is. We roll with Custer at Phoenix as kind of a throwaway, and we bet on the upside on a gambling podcast here for the upside of Stenhouse at Dega.
Your plus EV play is a Ricky Stenhouse at Talladega versus Cole Custer.
Hopefully Ricky Stenhouse can take that Trackhouse equipment. Oh, wait, just kidding. But it is going to be back-to-back Rookie of the Years for Trackhouse. So shout out to them for really they're nailing it with that development program, Rod. Finding these guys out of thin air, it's crazy. But they're doing a hell of a job over there.
Congrats, Bubba Wallace. I didn't know that he was a rookie and that he was eligible for the award this year. That's kind of fun. Good job. All right, Martinsville, we already talked about it. A Ryan Blaney track.
YRB, baby. This is why we've been saving him. Young Ryan Blaney. Loves Martinsville in particular. Loves Martinsville in the fall race, especially, Rod. He has been so freaking good here. Best average finish of everybody in the next gen era, 4.3 at Martinsville. But if you look at it, it is truly the fall race. 177 laps led, second place finish here in the fall of 25. Fall of 24, only led 32 laps, but good enough to win the race in that one. He also won here in the fall of 2023. That means 3 fall races in a row. He has finished first or second. If you want to go back farther to the old, actually, this would still be the next-gen car, 2022, a third place finish. So 4 next-gen races in the fall at Martinsville, and he has been top 3 in all of them. He's been good here in the spring, too. I mean, 11th in the spring of last year was a horrible day, but 5th place, 7th place, 4th place. So he won finish outside of the top 7 in 8 next-gen races here. He was amazing here in the old car, been amazing here in the new car. This is why we've been saving Ryan Blaney. There's a lot of places you can play him through the season. Most people not going to save him for this race, but we're smarter than most people, I hope anyways.
I don't know that I'd necessarily tack that onto myself.
Okay,
but,
well, maybe not, but we're going to try it anyways.
So, yeah, for Blaney, this is his really – Iowa, he's only had 2 races on there. His average finish 2.5 there. But out of the ones that he's got multiple starts at that mean much, Martinsville in the next-gen era is his second best track, 4.3 average finish. Like I said, his lowest finish ever on this track in 8 races in the next-gen era is 11, driver rating of 109.1, which is the 3rd best out of the tracks that he's driven on. So, I mean, you already made the strong case for Ryan Blaney, and like you said, people are going to want to use him early because they think that he's going to be, great, which he is, but this is where he's going to be the best for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of good spots to use Ryan Blaney. I mean, he came up time and time again, and you certainly can use him a lot of places, but I don't mind having him in this race where he has been so freaking good. That leaves us with one race, Rod, the season finale. Is it going to be the standalone championship race? Probably not. Are we already going to know the champion by this point in time? Or will it truly be the championship race? Who the hell knows? But we have strategically saved one 2026 NASCAR Cup Series champion, Tyler Reddick, for this race because he's been really freaking good at this track. Let's go back to the beginning. Richard Childress Racing 2020 coming here in June. 4th place finish in that 8 car. Followed it up in 2021 with a 2nd place finish. We go to the next gen car. He gets caught up in a wreck. Fine, 35th place finish. Who cares? Then you come here, fall of 23. In 23-11, a 3rd place. Fall of 24, a 1st place. They moved it back to the spring and threw off the mojo, Rod. Finished 8th place last year in what was a down year anyways. But 97 laps led, winning stage 1, 4th place in stage 2, winning the race from the pole. That's the Tyler Reddick, October 27th, 2024, that I'm hoping we get in this race and just puts us over the top to take down this pool.
Yeah, I think it will. Homestead is the 7th best track for Tyler Reddick, but that 35th really does screw up the average because
you take that out and even you take out the, if you just look at fall races, 1st and 3rd in the last 2 fall races in the next gen era, which is pretty solid. And then even go back again, 4th and 2nd in Richard Childress cars in the 8 car in the old version. That's he's really, really good at this track. This track lends to him. I would say and you could potentially, if you want to call your shot on the champion, you could save Kyle Larson for this race. He's been great here. You could save Kyle Larson for this race. He's been great here. You could save Christopher Bell for this race. He's been great here. Even William Byron. Those are the 5 guys I would consider holding one of those guys for this race and not being stuck with, I got to play Cole Custer because he's the only one that's left. I think you want to save one of the guys you think is going to be at least in the championship hunt. Now, if Tyler Reddick isn't, we know he checks out early, but hopefully that will not be the case.
Yeah, definitely hope not. So, wow. That was it, Cody. 36 drivers, 36 races. Woo. We've already previewed the season. We could just go ahead and go on vacation now.
Go place all your bets now. See, they should give us odds for all the races now. We can go place bets. We just parlay all 36 of these. I'm sure we got all the wins right. Even Cole Custer at Phoenix in the fall. I could see that happening. Okay, maybe not. But I will recap the second half for you. I recapped the first half, obviously, at the end of last show and earlier on in this episode, so go back if you want to listen to those. But starting at race 19th, July 5th, going back to Chicagoland, we took Bubba Wallace in that one. Atlanta Echo Park Motor Speedway. AJ Allmendinger, getting him in on a super speedway. Joey Logano wins the first points race back at North Wilkesboro. The IndyCar driver himself, Kyle Larson, we take him at Indianapolis because it just makes sense. 1.5 average finish for him there. Josh Berry, the fraud, we're taking him at Iowa. Austin Dillon, the king of Richmond. I believe he might actually be the mayor there these days. We'll take him. New Hampshire, throwing a dart at John Hunter Nemechek. Cody Ware takes the regular season, potentially, finale at Daytona. Chase Briscoe makes it 3 in a row at the Southern 500. Worldwide Technology, Raceway, Mr. Austin Cindric. He loves that track. Bristol, we settled on Noah Gragson. Kansas, we went with Eric Jones. KFB returns home to Las Vegas, gets us some points there. Connor Zilisch shows up and has a solid day at the Charlotte Roval. Cole Custer is our throwaway pick at Phoenix. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets another dub at Talladega. Ryan Blaney, he owns Martinsville in the fall. He's going to do so once again this year. And Mr. Tyler Reddick racing for the Victorious already. They've already won their first championship of the offseason. Michael Jordan and the 2311 crew. Tyler Reddick gets it done at Homestead. That's the second half of the 36 picks for the one and done NASCAR pools for the 2026 NASCAR season. We are only, when this comes out on the podcast, 52 days away from the Daytona 500, Rod. Oh, buddy. It's going to be here so soon.
That's a big year for 2311 with Tyler Reddick winning the championship and Bubba Wallace winning the Rookie of the Year for Trackhouse. That's a great year for both of those drivers.
What a stellar year.
Could you tell that I need a vacation? Like, I know that I continue to mix up Trackhouse in 2311. I don't know what it is in my brain that makes me think those teams are the same and interchangeable, which they're not. So apologies, Michael. Please don't kick me out of your club because I can't get your team right, and I can't get Trackhouse right as well. So, Dami,
happens to the best of us, Rod. Clearly, because you are the best of us.
I don't think about all of that. So, all right. Well, then, Cody, that is it for the week of Christmas and the holiday season, pretty much kicking off. And we'll be back next week with some semblance of stuff. Right? We'll have some stuff to talk about NASCAR wise. Hopefully, we'll have odds at that point. But until then, just we'll hang out.
Yeah, we're just waiting to pull the trigger on some more NASCAR odds as soon as we get them. Spaz checking in. Omaha in the house. Let's fucking go. Go Huskers. We're a basketball school these days, so both our basketball teams doing great. It's beautiful. You love to see it. Shout out to you, fellow Husker over there. Rod knows that Nebraska corn is better than Iowa corn, so that's always great. And we got more shit to talk about next week. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas if you're headed to your Christmas destination. Hopefully you're almost there. If you've already been, great. If it's February, you're catching up. Good to see you. Get ready for the Daytona 500. We'll have a mega episode for that. Looking forward to it. Season's just around the corner. Can't wait for it to get here, Rod. Again, happy holidays to everybody. Follow me over on the X at Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff over there. Tons and tons of football content. I got Christmas Day plays up if you've not already found that. You could be listening to this on the 23rd if you're watching on YouTube. I got Christmas Eve bowl game stuff up, more bowl game stuff coming up, NFL prop, all kinds of fun shit. The content train never stops, and I should probably stop talking. So, Merry Christmas. See you guys later.
Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. You can find everything that I am up to over there as well, including my rants on officials, which you could probably find to have a lot of fun following that as well. Like Cody said, happy holidays to you and yours. Hopefully you are having a great time, either avoiding your family or being close to your family, whichever one you choose to do. And if you're a grandma, please be careful of all the reindeers out there. We want you to make it to your destination safely. We'll be back after the Christmas break. And until then, everybody, let's go racing. I love you very much. And let it ride.